Hi, Julia Watts here, and welcome to my YouTube video. And today we're looking at fairy hugs, and I'm continuing looking at the flower fairies, and this week I'm focusing on Valerie's Pansy. So this is the first of 3 projects using this stamp set. So with the flower fairies from Fairy Hugs, you get a flower and a fairy. Sometimes you get 2 flowers, sometimes 1 flower, sometimes in this case 3 flowers. Occasionally there's an accessory, so this one has got a little butterfly on it as well. So this one's actually got 5 stamps in the set. And you can see from the fairies, I don't know if you can see actually, from the fairies clothing, from her skirt, it kind of replicates what there is on the actual flower that comes in the set as well. So it all kind of mixes and matches, but there's nothing stopping you using the fairy on its own, or some of the flowers on their own, or using the butterfly in another project. You can actually absolutely mix and match. So the flower fairies are all in stock. There's 22 of them, 22 sets, and you can get them on my website, juliawattscrafts.co.uk, for shipping to UK addresses. If you're outside of the UK, then you can find them at fairyhugs.com for worldwide shipping. So let's crack on and let's do a demo. So I'm actually just going to split this into 3 individual demos, so you can, if you've got sort of 10-15 minutes, you can watch one at a time. So looking through my stash of bits and pieces, I've found a 6x6 paper pad. This is from Kuji Creations. It's called Heart's Ease, and it has pansies in it. It's 6x6. They did do this, I think, in a 12x12 as well, so it's got papers in it, and it's got they're double-sided, and it's got some toppers in there as well. But you can see there are pansies in here, which is why I thought it would work very well with Valerie's Pansy as well. So we're going to use one of these instead of using a Fairy Hugs paper pad, but you can absolutely use the Fairy Hugs paper pads as well. So this is the paper that I've chosen. It's got stripes on the other side, and we're just going to build a scene within this area here. So we go into our stamping platform. They're very, very easy to use, these sets, you know. Everything's good to go straight away. Now the Fairy Hugs papers are 210 GSM. This is 180 GSM, so it's not as heavyweight paper as the others. I haven't actually stamped on these papers before, so we'll see what happens. So let's start. I mean, we're just going to actually build a scene very much similar to the acetate that you've got here, the actual layout of the stamps. And you can do that. They're kind of a jump start for you to get going, really. So let's take our pansy. Now, let's see. Obviously, we've got a little bit of foliage coming in here as well. We could mask certain areas off if we wanted to, but I think we're just going to overlay it and pop it just there. I could trim a little bit off, and I might decide to do that later on. So let's just have that first. Pop another magnet in the corner, and just to be sure, we pack one in there. And I think we'll go for, we'll actually stamp in a purple. We're going to use Versafine Clair, and I think we're going to go for, let's go for Monarch, which is a nice rich purple. And then we can just add a few highlights of colour in there as well. Obviously the leaves are going to be purple as well. You can use your pencils over the top if you wanted to. Depending on what ink you use, you could use your alcohol markers. Obviously test it on the paper first of all, just to make sure. Press. Might need to do it a second time, because they're not, as I say, these aren't Fairy Hugs papers, so we'll see how absorbent this paper is and whether we need to do it a second time. And it is actually pretty good. Looks fab on there, actually. I don't think we need to do that again. So that's the main pansy, the one with more than one. course, we're coming up towards February, and the spring flowers will start to come out, and pansies are normally around in the spring, so it's a good one to use at this time of year. So let's add in the next size one, so we can have that coming in perhaps down here like so. So all the work's done for you with the actual stamp set. The same colour. This is actually very good paper to stamp on. I'm quite impressed actually. Of course, the stamps are photopolymer. They're manufactured in the USA. They are really good quality photopolymer. So as long as you look after them, they are going to last you for a long time. And this is the third one. So we could bring that one in, perhaps just down there like so. Again, push it into the corner just in case, although that's stamping beautifully. I have just used green ink on this one, so we'll see. Give that ink a chance to absorb into the paper. Beautiful. Isn't that a nice collection of pansies? Okie dokie. So that's that. There's our pansies all done. And then we'll bring in our fairy, Valerie. And she's going to come in up here. So she's going to be flying down towards the pansies, I think. Like so. You could have her skipping across the top of them if you wanted to. You can make borders with them. There's so many different things that you can do. But sometimes I like to start these videos off just kind of using the stamps just as they were intended, I suppose. Just taking the prompt from the acetate sheet that they come on and just following that. I'm sticking with the purple. I'm just going to do all the stamping in purple, the monarch. Do use juicy ink pad. Juicy ink pad is your friend when you're stamping any kind of silhouette or finely detailed stamp. Let's see how she stamps. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then we've got the little butterfly, haven't we? So I think it would be rude not to use that. So let's bring that in as well. And we can perhaps have, let's see, because I want to put a sentiment up there. She could be letting the butterfly go actually, couldn't she? So let's have her letting the butterfly go there. I mean, obviously you can stamp the butterfly more than once, and you could have some kind of flitting about down below. So let's do that. Let's have a couple down below as well. The little ones do like to stick to your fingers. Let's have one more. I think we'll have another one. That's down here. sentiment. Okay. So for the sentiment, we'll grab, see what we can fit in. We've got, this is Fairy Whispers, which is a selection of 7. So we've got Raindrops of Fairy Whispers, Be Still and Listen, The Earth is Singing, Hope is the Dream that Awakens the Soul, Trust the Magic of New Beginnings, The Fairies Believe in You, The World Needs You, Just the Way You Are, and Thinking of You Today. Or we could have something from Fairy Words. Let's just see. Let's have that. Hope is the dream that awakens the soul. I quite like that. It kind of fits with the feel of these papers, actually. Let me just check whether that's straight. I think it is. We don't need to do any extra foliage around the edges because the paper's taken care of that. Like I say, this is just for my stash, and I looked at it and I thought, oh, that might be nice with some of the fairy hugs fairies, and I know which one exactly. So you don't just keep your old plate papers. Very delicate sentiment this, so just take your time, don't press too hard. Okay, that's it. So I will add a little bit of colour to this, although I won't make you watch me do that because I like to take my time. And when you mat it and layer it, it will end up like so. I'll just lift it up so you can see. Works really well, doesn't it? Really well on that paper. So that's project number 1 with Valerie's Pansy from Fairy Hugs. And be lovely if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel, Julia Watts Crafts. Give me a like and a comment. Also, you'll find that there is also the Fairy Hug Store YouTube channel, and some of my videos are on there. If you're on Facebook, you will find me at Julia Watts Crafts. There's also the Fairy Hug Store Facebook group, which is a great one to join to see lots and lots of sneak peeks. And just as a reminder, you'll find the stamps at juliawattscrafts.co.uk for shipping to UK addresses, and at fairyhugs.com for worldwide shipping. And be sure to watch some of the other videos. Thank you for watching.